Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to SBAA Nation. My name is Keith, aka Keystone. Guys, we had a freaking light week and we just absolutely demolished the freaking books. We hit a prize picks play I gave out over on the winnable free plan for free too. Look what we did to the Dana White Contender Series, guys. The guys that literally signed up for the VIP full season NFL pass paid for this in the very first week. That's what we did, literally. Look at some of these picks, guys. This was a half unit play, doubled our freaking money nearly. This one right here, 30 bucks. 30 bucks, more of a long shot. Just put a little sprinkle bet on this one. Paid 325, almost 10x our freaking money. This was all on Tuesday. This play also cashed. Gave this out for free on the winnable free plan. So if you're not on the free plan, at the bare minimum, guys, go sign up. I'm telling y'all, send out a bunch of bonus plays. You get the first dibs on a lot of things. It takes about less than a minute of your life to go sign up on the winnable free plan. Link is down below. So we crushed that. As you guys know, most of y'all know I'm limited on Prizepicks. So a lot of my clients and a lot of the people on the free plan, 100% kicked ass on that taco play, baby. You guys were able to put the full amount down. This was going all the way back to last Saturday. Okay. We haven't done much this week. We're not betting on baseball right now. We're getting all our energy prepared all in 100% on football and sprinkled a little bit of UFC in on top of that MMA. But this is what all the VIPs got this week. I mean, look at this. This was a $60 bet, paid out 405 bucks. Okay. This was a $150 bet, paid out 357. So they absolutely, like I said, I gave this one out for free too, guys. This Kansas State and the under plus 3.5, under 57.5 little alt play total. Now I got one of those for y'all today. I got a sports book play and I got two props that I'm going to 100% show you locked in. And then I have a couple more leans and I want to show you how some of these things aged extremely well, why it's so important you sub to the channel and you turn on notifications, because I made literally before anybody, guys, before anybody else made a college football video on Saturday for this week, I was literally giving y'all lines last Saturday when these plays right here concluded. I went and made a video, attacked the first lines I saw that were up, which happened to be over on Dabble, and boy, have they aged well. So let's get into the picks. Okay, so this was that play. I told y'all that this was going to go up. I said, make sure you lock this in now, because these are going to be way higher. Now, Haynes King actually did the opposite at first. He came down, right? And now he's probably over 40 yards on most sites. So that was correct. Arch Manning, look what we got this at, guys. 17 rushing yards. Are you freaking kidding me? Good luck trying to find it under 27 right now. It's gone up 10 freaking yards. So that's the advantage of turning on those notifications. Anytime I post a video, okay, you're going to get the sharpest plays the earliest. Like I said, this video dropped on Saturday freaking night, guys. Did I just celebrate all our wins? No, I went straight back to freaking work, was finding the lines for us, and I gave you all this one for free. So keep that in mind. So I'll be driving down to another state to lock in some plays tomorrow. We already have a bunch. I have a guy that sets a lot of my VIP plays for me and some of the free ones too, obviously, over in California. And then I got another guy in Texas. So we got ourselves a little network here. These are a couple plays that I do like for tomorrow night's Thursday game. We have some really good games. We're going to go over those in a sec, but these are a couple leans. So this Gaines here, he's going to be the guy taking over Ashton Genty's role as the number one running back. They are small favorites. I think like 5.5 points is what the line is settled on. I do think they are the better team, but this is a tough game for me to handicap. So I'm just going to focus on, do I think they're going to have success running the ball? And the answer is yes. So I think that this is a pretty good line. I think there's a really good shot he goes for like a 100-yard game here. And then Darius Taylor, the Minnesota running back, look, he's the guy now. This is a fantastic receiving back as well. That's why I prefer his combo yards. This is the kind of guy that can catch a little dump off in the flat and literally take it to the house. So you're going to be upset with yourself if you just take his rushing yards. It's worth paying the premium because he's the type of guy that can literally have 50, 60, 70 yards receiving. So I prefer the combo yards. Now, this has come up tremendously. Our VIP locked this in back on like Monday or Tuesday, I think for 10 yards less than this. I think we locked in at like 117, 118. I still don't mind it here, but I don't obviously like it as much. That's why we locked it in early in the week. So those are a couple leans for you guys. So if we come over here and just look at today's slate, we actually got some pretty good games, man. We got Boise, South Florida. This should be a good game. And like what I like to do, and I'm not sure exactly always how accurate this is on outlier, but I still like to peek at it, and I like to see where like all the money is coming in at. Sometimes I just like going and playing the opposite, man. You guys believe in Vegas? I don't know. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. But guess what? You can clearly see that USF is demanding most of the money on this spread. That's actually kind of wild. 94% of people think that USF covers this plus 5.5 at home. So the money's really been pouring in on them. The number of bets ain't quite that convincing. In fact, you can see it's all actually favoring Boise on this spread. But where you look where the money's at, this is where the sharp money is coming in at. 94% of money is on USF plus 5.5. So we're going to probably avoid that one. And you can see it's kind of the same thing here too. 72% of the money's coming in on the under on this game. It's still hot and humid down there in Florida, boys. So I don't know. To be honest with you, I think that's this game's got a shot of going over. It's a pretty big number, but we'll see. We'll see. Ohio taking on Rutgers. We don't have much of a stake in this game. I give you guys a lean in every pick. I do think there's a chance that Rutgers covers this 15.5. If you look at the public betting, that's where basically all the money has come in on those. So that does make you a little nervous. We got Central Florida taking on Jacksonville State another down here in Florida game. We don't have a stake in this one. If I had to give you guys a lean, I think I'd probably just like stick to using I'd probably lean the over, to be honest with you. 52%, 52.5. You can see all the money's coming on the under. So all the money says the opposite of what I just said. So it actually makes me like it even more. I think Jacksonville State's offense actually be okay this season. They could improve a little bit. And then UCF, well, you never know what you're going to get with them, but they're huge favorites in this game. So if you look at the team totals and stuff, like if basically what this comes down to is they're going to project the X team right here to score X touchdowns, right? And if you think that the other team, that's the 20-point spread, if you think they're going to cover or get anywhere near covering this, then you should probably take a look at this over. And that's actually wild to me that all the money's come in on the under. It's kind of wild. We got Wyoming and Akron. Now, Wyoming's a team that had a really bad year last year, and they're a team I usually like to back when they're in Laramie, but they're on the road, and all the money this week has been coming in on Akron. This actually was like a 9.5-point spread at one point, so it's all the way down to 5.5. I'm not going to give you a position on this one. I would probably Akron was a mess last year. They couldn't even fill the team. I think they literally had to cancel the final game of the season or something, or had to forfeit it because they couldn't fill the freaking roster. I don't think much has improved here, figuratively or literally. So I would lean Wyoming on the money line. You could use it as like a parlay piece potentially, but I'll probably stay away from that one. Now, this game right here, we actually have some action in on our player props, so it's important I think we break this one down a little bit. Now, East Carolina, this is a rivalry game. Okay. So these two teams don't like each other. In fact, they played the last game they played last season. East Carolina beat North Carolina. And then the year before that, I think they beat them in the first game of the year as well. So this North Carolina squad, really disappointing last season. I think they've improved a lot, however. And I think this is like not only like a revenge type spot, like a narrative. I think the talent, if you just look on paper, this is a game NC State should freaking roll in. So, I have them on the money line in a play as a parlay piece. They're very juiced, obviously, as a 14-point favorite. But you can see where the percentage of the money is coming in on East Carolina to cover this 14-point spread. And I do kind of agree with this. I think it might be a closer game than people think. But at the same time, maybe this is the one that gets away where they finally just, pull away from this team. It's not a close game. So, like I said, I have a position on this right here as a parlay piece, and that's all I have. I'm not going to touch this total. I could see it going a lot of different ways, but I do think North Carolina State probably ends up winning this game. You can see the money's like pretty much 50-50 right here, so that's kind of crazy. And then the final two games we got, like I said, a couple really good games. We got three more actually. So we got Buffalo, Minnesota. Now Buffalo was a pretty solid team last year. If we take a peek at where the money's coming in, yeah, a lot of people like this money cover right here on Buffalo 17.5. And that was my initial instincts. But I think this is a position I probably won't take. Minnesota, as you can see, they didn't cover a lot of spreads last season. And they have a new quarterback. We'll see what happens. But I do love their running game. I think this power running game probably gives Buffalo some issues. Darius Taylor should have his way. So I think they had a big running game last season when they faced Buffalo. So I would lean Minnesota. slightly maybe to cover this. And then this total right here is a tricky one because these are two slower paced, naturally kind of like you would think defense when you think these two teams. So but that's a very low number, right there at 43 and a half. So you can see the money is pretty much dead even almost as a pick 'em on picking a side there. I do think Minnesota wins the game as a 9-1 favorite. I think that probably happens, but I don't mind this Buffalo plus 17 and a half. I have no exposure to it. However, this is just a lean. And then Miami, Ohio against Wisconsin. This is a game I do think Wisconsin wins pretty comfortably here. I mean, they're big favorites. They had a disappointing season last year, but they brought in the transfer from Maryland's, who is Billy Edwards, their quarterback. So I think that's a big upgrade here. I think that he's going to fit in with this system. I think that they probably throw the ball more than they did last year too. So, this is a game I could see them pulling away a little bit on. You can see the money's pretty close right here on these spreads. This game might be the funnest one of the night. So the last one. Now we do have a position here. Now you can see like of the spread, all the money's coming in on Nebraska to cover this, and I get it, but I want to remind you guys this is not actually in Cincinnati. This is going to be in Kansas City. It's going to be played at Arrowhead Stadium. I think my favorite play is actually the over 51 and a half. Now, I'm going to give you guys what we just did. I'm going to literally give you one of my top plays of the week, and two of these games start on this slate. So it's important you lock this in today because tomorrow's going to be too late. 56% of the money coming in on the over, 44% on the under. So that's, pretty close. And then a lot of people seem to really think Nebraska is going to handle their business here. Now, I will tell you, Cincinnati's not a bunch of slouches, man. They had a disappointing season last year, but this is a solid freaking football team. So I think this should be a very competitive game. I think it could be actually pretty high scoring. So we're going to go look at a couple props, and we're going to give you guys this sportsbook play. However, first though, now a lot of the guys that have been with me on this channel I call them my DFS army because that's what we originally focused this channel on, but we're evolving this year. We're 100% going in on the books. I want to let you guys know this is going to be life-changing for a lot of y'all that are in a DFS state. Sign up on Rebet, okay? You can literally lock most of these plays that I give out on Rebet. I got a bunch of VIP premium members that use this in states like Texas, Georgia, California, all the big DFS states. Never have problems. It's a fantastic, very reputable app. If you're going to pick one of these books, I would say them or Bovada would probably be the top two that you can lock your money and feel very good about doing it on. Sign up with promo code SBAA, get you $100 freaking match, guys. You cannot beat that when you just go hand them $100. They give you $100. And what you guys can do, you can lock this play in, use all your bonus funds on it, or whatever you're comfortable with. You want to throw $50 on this, and then you can literally level up. You can see the ticker down below. You can literally lock this play in. When it cashes, you can go get on the month pass for the price of a week right now. College football, use the code CFB down there on the ticker. So this is this is like the blueprint I'm giving y'all. Get on Rebet if you're in one of these DFS states. Take advantage. The SBAA code will unlock this $100 match for you, and then lock in whatever you feel like betting on a play like this. Once you're on that VIP too, you're going to unlock my $10,000 future UFC bet, one of the best ROI opportunities I've ever seen. That's why I bet what I bet on it. And then, so let's get into that sportsbook play. Now, this is plus 103. It's a 3-pick parlay. We took some alt lines on Rebet. You should be able to get most of these markets like alt lines and team totals. I would say like on a traditional book, like I set this on DraftKings, I would say you're probably going to have access to about 80% of total markets, which is really good. And I keep that in mind when I set these plays. Obviously, my job is to win, but I do keep in mind the Rebet market because I know a lot of my VIP premium members are using that because they all originally were on from DFS states, and they already know how we run it up in DFS too. I showed you guys the total in this Nebraska-Cincinnati game. It was at 51 and a half. I told you I already like that. We took it down a full 10 points to the 41 and a half. I like this number. A lot of times you'll see like a 2020 game, and if you get 2020, you're in freaking business because there's no way that this does not hit if we get 2020, which really wouldn't shock me. And quite frankly, it also wouldn't shock me if we were at 2020 around halftime. So I love this over 41 and a half. Alt total in the Nebraska-Cincinnati game, like I said, being played at Arrowhead Stadium. The second one I like a lot is Wisconsin to cover the spread. It's much more than this, as we showed you guys. So I took it down to basically they need to win this by 2 field goals, which at home against Miami, Ohio, I think they take care of business. There's not much more to say here. I think this is a mismatch. I think Billy Edwards is really going to come in and elevate this offense this season. So give me Wisconsin at home to cover by 2 field goals on the -5.5. I think that's a real key number in a game like this. And then this one right here is actually going to be on Friday. So we have to wait for this third leg, but I'm very confident in this. I think Georgia Tech literally could get this on their own, potentially 41.5 points. I think they're going to have a lot of success running the ball. A lot of times in week ones in college football, even at the highest FBS levels, you're going to see some sloppy play. You're going to see some turnovers. You're going to see some short fields. So I naturally, I'm kind of like the opposite of a lot of guys. A lot of guys like unders and stuff, but like the turnovers a lot of times lead to points, guys. So I actually prefer slamming some overs, and I love taking alt totals. So I like this one a lot. Like I said, I think Georgia Tech is good for 30 points here, man. I think they hang a 30 burger up on the Colorado up there in Boulder. Now, that basically means if I believe Georgia Tech's going to score 30, and I think they're going to have a ton of success running the ball, I think that Colorado really just needs to score about a touchdown and a couple field goals for us. Like get us 13 freaking points, and we're going to hit this play no problem. So I put a half unit on this, but that is the play. You can lock this in. I hope you can lock this in on rebet. Get as close as you can if some of the numbers aren't quite there. And then yeah, take those winnings, level up, get on the freaking month pass, guys. Look what we've freaking done this week, man. I mean, we've literally swept the freaking board on our book plays. So get pumped up. It's football. Now I do have one more play for y'all. Okay, so I got one more pick, and the reason we set it over here is because the lines were pretty much the same, but the payout was slightly better. And that's important as a sports bettor. You want to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck anytime you set a play. This is an app I haven't promoted in a while, but they're still a good one. And right now, this is about as good of an offer as you can freaking get. You get literally a free $20, no strings attached, and you don't even have to make a deposit. You just make an account real quick. Your info shouldn't take you long at all, and you're literally going to get 20 bucks that you can put it on this play. You can put it on whatever your heart desires. And that $20 free is going to be unlocked with promo code SBA. There's a link down below, guys. So let's get into that pick. All right. So like I mentioned, Hollywood Smothers, I do think NC State wins this game one way or another. Even if it's close, if it's competitive, I think they have a good success running the ball. I prefer this over Champ Bailey's passing yards. I think they have a lot of success on the ground. Now, I was going to give you guys Champ Bailey's rushing yards. I do like that too. He's their quarterback. He's a dual threat guy, and I think he's going to unlock this running game where this guy's going to have some good big holes to run through with the read option, the RPO. And I just think that the reason I didn't give it to you guys is because it had gone up. I think I locked it in like earlier in the week at like 24 yards, and I think it's like 29, 31 yards now in most places. So I didn't feel quite as good about that. And this gives us a different look where it's like, okay, maybe the quarterbacks I think that are going to run well. Maybe the running backs like literally steal all the thunder. And this gives you a look. And how can you not like a guy named Hollywood, So I like Hollywood Smothers for NC State to hit this. He needs 90 yards, over 89.5. And then the other guy, I told y'all I like Sorsby a lot. So a lot of people might be on his passing yards, and he might hit that. I don't know. He might hit the combo yards. But what I do like is I like him to run the ball. And I'll show you guys this real quick here, and then we'll bounce over. So I did put on DFS, this is considered like a full unit for me. On books, I get way more aggressive because we can manipulate things more often. But yeah, this is a full unit play. Sorsby over 24.5 rushing yards. Like I told you guys, I think he gets it done. You can see right here over on Outlier, his last 5 games. I mean, this guy's massive rushing upside. He had 143 right here against Iowa State, which is actually kind of insane. His only miss was against Kansas State, and he was like right there. Okay. And then he had 93 in his last game against Texas Christian. And then right over here against West Virginia and against Colorado, he got this done pretty comfortably at 48 yards. So I do like Sorsby here to take off and run. Not in love with this receiving core. He does have some guys returning. Like I said, they should be a decent team. So I think this will be a pretty competitive game. I love the over in it. Sorsby, you could look at his combo yards if you don't want to play this one, but 4 out of 5 games. I like the track record here. I think he's going to be busy running the ball. So that's going to be the first guy. And then Smothers, well, he wasn't the starter full time last year, but you can see the last 5 games, he was getting a lot of freaking volume here. And you can see the rush attempts were pretty solid. I think if we get about 12 to 13, we're going to be in business here. And he had a monster game, as you can see. And ironically enough, this was against East Carolina. Like I said, this was the last game. They lost the game by a touchdown. So even with negative game script, he still got this done comfortably, 139 yards. We only need 89.5. So we need 90 yards for this to hit. And like I said, this was the last opponent he played. He's playing them in this game. So give me Hollywood Smothers and Brandon Sorsby, the quarterback for Cincinnati, to hit their rushing marks. And that's all I got for you guys today. Hop on the freaking VIP, man. We've been highly profitable for 2 straight seasons during football. Only had 1 losing month last season. Maybe, you know what? Yeah, it was February. It was actually February. And you remember college was already over by then. So it really came on the back of a big Super Bowl bet. So, but yeah, guys, sign up, lock in this play, lock in the book play, and let me know in the comments if you guys like something that I didn't talk about in this video, specifically on the Thursday slate. All right, peace.